What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind back again, and I hope everybody out there is doing well. I want to give a shout out to everyone who subscribes, everyone who likes, everyone who comments, all of you. You know, I wish you guys all the best. And I want to do this video real quick because I got to go pick up my son. It's early Sunday morning, and I'm always running, man. And you know, this is another thing. This is a reason why also I want to say to everyone out there who has been like really pushing me to go onto other platforms and do live streams with some of these other YouTubers out there who are much more prominent than I am. I thank you so much. I thank you so much for your shout outs, and I thank you so much for thinking of me and your respect. I never in a million years thought that you know, when I started doing these videos that I would be received, you know, with such appreciation and such love. And thank you guys. You know, I am very humbled by that. Now, what I'm trying to do, I assure you guys, is I am trying to, I guess, get my system here of doing things, my mode of operations, upgraded to the point where I can actually participate in live streams and things like that. I'm actually on a Sony Handycam right now as I talk to you with the little memory card, you know, that I plug into a very old computer and you know, upload my videos that way. I'm still doing it very like old school. You guys know, you know, I'm a divorcee and everything, and you know, I'm very much still kind of like getting back to a comfortable place, you know. So you know, it's gonna take a while for me to get where I want to go, but I'll get there, guys. So I hear you. You know, you got to give the people what they want, and I will be reaching out to these other YouTubers. Hopefully it won't be much longer, but you know, for now, this is the reason why I have to do things the way that I do them. So please be patient with a dude, okay? Now, I want to go on to say this. Also, just a quick Sunday morning message before I break up out of here. And what it is I've been noticing these articles, and I just saw one with Jaquin Phoenix, because apparently he's going to be doing a Joker standalone film. That's probably, I don't know, next year or the year after, I'm not sure. But they were interviewing him, and he said something that kind of stuck out with me. And he said that he could care less, or he could not care less what the fans want. He just wants to do his film, and he wants to, the only thing he cares about is the filmmaker. Now, I'm going to leave the link to the article where he says this and everything. I'm not going to read it because honestly my phone is out, man. I don't know what's going on. It's not holding a charge. That's another thing I got to do today. Running. So anyway, yeah, so he's saying he couldn't care less. All that matters to him is what the filmmaker wants. All right, and it's just like, I noticed that this is becoming like you know, a running theme, you know, with a lot of these people in Hollywood, where they feel like they're here and the fans are here, and we just get whatever it is that they give us. You know, Brian Johnson was doing that. You know, oh, you know, I don't care what the fans want. I just want to do what I want to tell the story that I want to tell. You know, J.J. Abrams is saying the same thing. You know, it doesn't matter what the fans thought of The Last Jedi. I'm just going to do what I want. Look, see, what these guys need to understand is that that might work when you're doing, like, you know, some other Hollywood film, you know, Terms of Endearment or something like that. You know, some old drama. You know what I mean? Make the movie you want to make the statement you want to make. But when it comes to these genre type films that already have a fan base attached to them, yeah, you might want to consider what it is that your fans want. You know, a lot of these films, you know, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's you know, the so-called comic book films and franchises, they come in with a ton of fans, man. You already have an audience built in. So really, all you have to do is satisfy your audience. That should be your #1 priority. These things have conventions attached to them. You know, they have multi-billion-dollar industries attached to them. So you just don't take films like Star Wars and you know, like the DC and the MCUs and just do what you want to do with them and experiment and things like that. These things have been around for longer than most of us have been alive. It's like, you don't get to just do what you want and say, oh, I don't care what the fans want, or I could care less what the fans want. That's not a good start, man. It's like, you know, I looked at what Jaquin Phoenix said, and that just took all of the air out of me as far as wanting to see a standalone Joker film, which I don't understand why they're making in the first place. You know, I'm like, okay, you don't care what I want. I only have like hundreds of Batman comics, you know, in storage as we speak. I grew up reading them, You know, so I am kind of going to care the way that you present it. I'm going to probably feel kind of passionately about it. And that's the thing. A lot of us who bring our passion into these things, it's because we've grown up with them. It's because we have all types of emotional and lifelong connections to these characters and to these stories. You know, so that's the reason why you get the passion that you get. That's the reason why you get the pushback that you get if you present these things the wrong way on film. You get people who are going to be very, very much opinionated about what you're doing. So to turn around after that and try to say, oh, if you don't like it, well, you must be racist, or you must be a bigot, or you must be sexist, or a homophobe, and things like that. No, that's not what it's about. It's about people who have come to care and who have come to love the subject matter and the characters, you know, that's being presented. That's all it is. Now, I was also reading, you know, the story a couple of days ago about a young lady named Keira who is unfortunately dying from cancer. And I'm going to leave the link to that also in the description box. Now, Keira, her last wish, or one of her dying wishes, is to know how Avengers 4 turns out. And it really made me like stop and think, because I heard this also with the veteran last year, who his dying wish was to see The Last Jedi. Poor guy. And they made his wish come true, and you know, he has passed away, and you know, rest in peace, sir. You know, and thank you to his family, you know, for his sacrifice and his service to our country. You know, I'll probably try to leave his story too, even though I talked about him on video a while ago. I believe his name was Ron Villamaires. But anyway, going on, it's like what you need to understand, these people, is that for people like Keira and people like the veteran Ron Villamaires to care so much about these things, it means that it touches them in ways that these people could not possibly understand, who are producing and taking part in these films. If you say something like, I could care less what the fans want, that should just disqualify you from making these types of films. Go make an artsy film. Go make an independent film somewhere, you know, that doesn't have a fan base that's built in. Go somewhere else with that. You don't belong in Star Wars. You don't belong in the MCU. You don't belong in the DCU. Those of us who care about these things, we've been doing this for our entire lives. We've been involved in this for our entire lives. I had somebody in the comment section come in a couple of days ago and say, why should you care about Star Wars Resistance? You have grays in your beard. You're too old for this. You're creepy. I'm creepy? Okay, I'm creepy and you're blocked because I don't have anything to say to you. It's like if the first time I'm meeting your acquaintance, you're telling me that I'm creepy for just expressing my opinion about something that I care about, that I've been involved in since I was a child, you and I have nothing to discuss, because you're just coming in with your rush to judgment, you're coming in with your insults, you're coming in with your disrespect. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. It's like those of us who are involved in this, we understand why we still care about this some 20, 30, 40 years later. You know, it's not that simple. It's not, if you want to just boil us down to some bitter fanboys and, you know, fat white guys living in their mom's basement, I have no time for you whatsoever. You know what I mean? This is not that. It's like, go somewhere else with that BS. You know what I mean? But one thing I can tell you guys, getting back to the young lady who's suffering from cancer and from, you know, the veteran who passed away and things like that, one thing I can assure you is that they don't care. When you say that I want to see how Avengers 4 turns out, I don't think that Keira is thinking about how many blacks or black people there are in that film. I don't think she cares about how many white people there are in that film, how many Spanish, Latino, Indian, Asian people are in that film. I don't think she cares about how many gays and transsexuals are in that film. I think she cares about the story and the quality of the story. That's how you serve the fans. You give them quality, you give them a quality product. You give us something substantial. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking for anybody's political agenda. That's what people need to understand. When someone makes it their dying wish to know how the story progresses, they're telling you, we want something that takes us away from what it is that we're going through. You know, in her case, she's been given 3 to 6 months to live. 3 to 6 months to live, and she has to find out about this movie. What does that tell you? It tells you, and you know, and also with the veteran, you know, his dying wish to find out how The Last Jedi was going to go. You know, he wanted to see The Last Jedi before he died. Now, can you imagine in The Force Awakens, the build-up in that movie at the end when Rey hands the lightsaber to Luke, and you wait 2 years of what will be the last 2 years of your life forever, and you wait, you hold on to see what happens when Rey hands the lightsaber to Luke, and you're still alive, and all you want to do is see what happens before you die. Can you imagine when you start the movie and you see Luke just toss the lightsaber over his shoulder after waiting 2 years of the last years of your life? You see what I'm saying? You see what's fundamentally wrong with that? You know, it's one thing to tell the story that you want to tell, but you have to consider your fans. You have to consider all of the people who are out there. You can't make a movie for each person, okay? I understand that. You can't make a movie for each person. But when it's not that hard, it's not that complicated. When people go in to see Star Wars, and when they're going to see the, you know, an MCU film or a DCU film, you know what they want to see? You know what we want to see? We want to see the good guys win, okay? We want to be taken to another place, you know, from whatever it is that we're going through. You know, whether we just want a sense of adventure or whether we want to forget the pain that we're in for a while. We want to go someplace where we're taken away and we see other people overcome what it is that they go through. We don't go to Star Wars to see Luke Skywalker drinking alien milk and die. We go to see our hero in all of his glory. Even if he's down, we go to see him rise. You know, in the previous video I talked about Rocky and how in Creed, how he was defeated. But we saw him overcome his illness. We saw him fight his illness. We saw him wrestling with the fact that the people that he loved around him was dead, you know, and everything. And that's what we want to see. We want to see our heroes rise, okay? How they do it, now that's up to you. But when you take something specific like Star Wars, you take something specific like Avengers 4, you know, and all these other films where the fans are passionate about it, it's not that hard. What we want is to see good triumph over evil. And to Keira, you know, whose last wish is to see Avengers 4, I give you all respect and I wish you all the best, and I wish your family all the best. And I would say to you, Keira, I don't know if they're going to grant your wish because up until now they haven't, but if you were to see this video, I would say, if you want to know how Avengers 4 turns out, you close your eyes and you imagine and you think about what you've seen, and I assure you the good guys win. And you hold on to that. The good guys will fight. That's what we want to see in Avengers 4. We don't want to see them crushed. We don't want to see them broken. The good guys will fight and they will triumph and evil will lose. And you remember that, Keira, because being a fighter is what you've been. You know, and everybody else out there whose story hasn't been told, you know, who's struggling with this. We win. The good guys win. And that's who we are. We're on the right side of history with this, the so-called bitter fans and things like that. Because we know what it is that we're attracted to. We know what it is that we love. We know the way it should be. We know what this genre is. And for the people who are coming in here and desecrating that and disrespecting that and thinking they can just experiment with it and play with it and just put characters who don't belong and, you know, and what if we do this and what if we do that and who cares about the fans? This is just going to be seen as a period in history where things just got out of control and off the rails. But one day things will go back the way they're supposed to be because the fans have the last word. You know, fans will always have the last word. Some people prefer customers. Fine, customers, because we're spending money. You know, but listen guys, I just wanted to put that little message out there. It's like, that's how I feel about it. Fans matter. Customers matter. Customers always will matter. Customers are always right. And these people might just have to lose billions of dollars before they understand that. Just a quick message to you guys. Gotta go get my son. Once again, shout out to everybody else out there. You know, love you all. I'll see you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.